Okay everyone, so here's a model review of the Honda NSX-R or Acura NSX-R, the NA2 version, the facelifted version. It's by Inno64, which is one of my favorite brands. I think Inno and Tarmac Works are my favorite brands in 164, at least until you get into the resin. The resin models are the best, but for relatively mass market vehicles, these two brands are the standouts in my opinion. So let's take a closer look here. Alright, card backing. Nice extra set of wheels. I couldn't tell. A lot of these wheels, extra wheel sets come in these models. I find that they have a lot of extra printing and stuff. Maybe they skip out on this, but this one has these BBS style wheels as well as the originals, so pretty cool. Alright. So yeah, crystal case. It's not the tightest case, guys, so be mindful of that. It's alright, but I'd still always pick this up by the base, not the top, because if the model fell out, you know, that'd be bad, of course. So look at the plinth, or the base here. Yeah, nice printing, pretty funky. A little like dotted NSX graphic there. It reminds me of like those bus windows, the stickers they put on buses, where you can see out but not in. Anyways, so we're gonna probably have one screw. Yep. Alright, let's take this off here. I'll probably put it back on the base later on, because I find that sometimes these Innos have really fragile parts like tow hooks and stuff like that, so gotta be careful. Alright, so let's get a, well, first let's just take a look at that photo. And even the wheels, granted they're white wheels, but I think Inno did a pretty good job. What do you guys think? It looks like the photograph to me. Maybe the mirrors are a little bit, could be the angle. The mirrors do look a little bit large. Okay, but let's get into better light angles to go over this with the dental pick here. Okay. Alright, so the orange paint is really nice. I mean, it's like a metallic orange. There was a yellow, but I think the yellow in general has a hard time covering up the casting. You know, the darker the color is, the more metallic it is better. So I went with this orange. Okay, so the wheels, yeah, I mean, they look pretty accurate to the car, the photograph there. You got even the 5 little lug nuts there, and there's a Honda badge actually printed in the center. Right? Look at the front wheel there. So that's really crisp, really nicely detailed. And then the, granted they're white wheels, which is usually a thick paint. So the lug nuts are still visible, so that's pretty good. If there were silver wheels, they'd probably be really visible because you don't need as much paint. But we can also see there's a brake system back in there. You know, the caliper seems to be in the front. The tires don't spin though, because they're rubbing against the fender well. Okay. Now, key thing for me, there's black paint in this vent. I looked at the TLV release of the first generation, there's no black paint there, which just seems odd to me, right? It just blanks out. It's like, that's something I expect from a $10 Kyosho, not a $30 or $40 TLV. So, I'm not going to get a first generation NSX, because I think all the brands are doing a bad job, because they all paint the lights that are here on the first generation. There should be a piece of plastic there. And for a premium price, all those brands should have a piece of plastic there. So I'm just going to skip the first generation NSX until someone, hopefully Inno, will do it, because they'll do it right. Okay, so yeah, we got a door lock there with a little silver in the middle, right? So that's great detail. And then there's a little graphic there on the handle here, probably NSX-R it's supposed to say, but it's so small it's not legible, but I can kind of understand that. I mean, that's super small. Okay, and that's another great thing with Inno, they actually have reflective mirrors. It's better than silver paint. It's literally a piece of reflective material, probably like a sticker or something. So that's as real as it gets, really, other than a piece of glass, which no one's ever going to do, right? Okay, so the back end, we got the red Honda badge. Could be a little better. It's actually a separate piece, like a real badge. But I almost feel like it might have been better to just print it onto the onto the plastic. or it just needs to be laid on better. Okay. Nice to see some sort of something there in the license plate instead of just blank. There seems to be orange paint on top of the plastic there. And then good breakup of the silver, and then a little molded in dots here behind the plastic to indicate some light bulbs, so that's pretty cool. The taillights are nice. I mean, the tail exhausts here are nicely done because there's a nice silver ring and then black in the middle, and there's depth to them. You know, it's not just flat plastic. And then the rear vents here go pretty far in, and there's a texture there as well, so that's pretty good. There's a third brake light here. Was that painted? Yeah, I guess so. It's like a printing, tampo print probably. The rear wing isn't super thick plastic, it's really nice, and there's obviously air passing underneath it, so that's pretty good, very realistic. Alright, so that looks good. This side, yeah, no major problems. I mean, I'm super nitpicky right there. There's something wrong with the paint. I'm always scared of this side. You can't see it from the box, you know. But yeah, everything looks good. Okay, going to the front. Again, a license plate. Yeah, black paint in there. It didn't hit the mark 100% though. You can see the orange there at the bottom. But there is a texture in here, and it's pretty far in. Okay, so now we got the fixed headlamps, whereas the first generation has those pop-ups. And then yeah, it's great. I mean, there's a plastic lens, and then underneath it you got this painted silver bucket as well as orange there. And although the orange I think is on the lens, I think it's orange paint on the lens, but it's fine. Okay, so the Honda badge I think on the front again. I think it's I don't know if it's a decal or, no it's not. I think that's super glue I'm touching right now. And then this is like some sort of foil. It's like a colored foil sticker. So it's a really nice badge. I just don't think it's 100% aligned properly, which is too bad. Okay, so yeah, we got some black paint in there with the texture for the vents. Some bumps here for the fluid to come out. Molded in wiper blades, and they're black, so that's good. And then it was looking to be the highlight is the interior, or what's underneath this greenhouse. I mean, look at this engine. I love that the Inno has thin defroster lines. Inno probably has the best defroster lines I've seen of all the brands. You know, they're super thin, so you can actually see that engine. If this was say another brand, Mini GT, half of this window would be covered in super thick defroster lines, and you wouldn't be able to see that engine. So I gotta give credit to Inno. They do a really good job with defroster lines. So yeah, that engine, I mean, is some red and silver, of course. It's pretty good. I'm trying to focus there on the there we go, on the valve cover. Honda DOHC VTEC, right? So that's good. Alright, so you gotta remember, I'm magnifying this a lot, like that was like 4 times right there. I mean, look at my finger, right? So anytime something's under high magnification, of course it looks bad, but to the naked eye, I mean, that engine looks awesome. Alright, now the interior. Yeah, look at this, we got some racing seats there, red, the center console, the shifter. Everything looks good there. The door panels. Now, I'm wondering if the instrument cluster has like a gauges or anything like that in there. Yep, it does. So hold on, this is gonna be tough. Get additional light in there. Hold this thing at a certain angle, then try to zoom in. Look at that. So that is great detail, you know, actual instruments. Okay, so yeah, there's some distortion in the glass because they're molded, which is a shame, but I think for the cost of this model, I mean, this is one of the best diecasts out there right now. It's just great, right? We haven't even looked at the bottom. It's probably not a great amount to see though. Yeah, only thing missing is like what year this mold came out, you know, for future people to know. but there's good detail, right? Silver paint and all that stuff, and there's one screw holding it together. If for some odd reason you want to change the interior colors or something, or detail the engine bay a little more. These tires are pretty nicely molded, and luckily they're not flattened out. It wasn't screwed down to the base too much, so they look round. But even if the tires were bad, that's the beauty of the extra wheel set. You can take the tires off this and, you know, work with it. So I don't know, I think I'm liking the original wheels more. These BBSs for me aren't doing it. So, but what's great, I can save these for a crappier model, you know. I'll take them, put them on something else. Okay, cool. Let me pull up the Spin Master there. Okay, so in summary, I can highly recommend this model. It's a fantastic model with a lot of great details. It is much better than TLV in my opinion. I think it's probably better than, well, it's much better than all the other NSXs, because all those other brands, Hobby Japan, TLV, and Ignition, they don't put plastic inserts into those lights up front. They're all painted. I don't know why they're doing that. That's so lazy. If you're going to charge 2 or 3 times as much money as a let's say Mini GT, there should be 2 to 3 times as much effort in the model, in my opinion. But they're just all being lazy, so the hell with them. Okay, anyway, so this model is great. I think Inno64 is fantastic. It's definitely one of my favorite brands, top 2 brands now. Okay, I will see you guys in the next review. Thanks for watching.